So can you all see the screen? Am I clear?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
It's
Yes.
audible and visible.
Yeah. So
Prabhu, can you put that in a presentation mode?
yeah, just a minute. Is it okay now?
Yes,
Yes,
perfect.
it's fine.
So we will just invoke the Supreme Lord. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirye Shunavatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanam Hridayantastoya Bhadrani Vidunoti Sursatam Nashta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bharvati Naistiki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Landagetikim Yat Kripatamam Mante Shri Guru Dinatarinam Parmananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Maheshwaram. So it's a great fortune for us to be discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, and that too the first canto, because the first two cantos are supposed to be the lotus feet of the Lord. So let's start our journey. Of course, we cannot comprehend what Srila Prabhupada has put within this 1 hour, but yes, we can definitely touch base on points. So I took a book called Bhagavatam Subodhini by Gauranga Das Prabhu, Gauranga Darshan Prabhu. And from that, I just took the basic points, because I'm sure that over a period of Prabhu, how long this has been going on now? First canto?
We have done almost all 108 classes, Prabhuji.
Oh, so 108 is an auspicious number. Great.
September 21 we started, 18th September.
Oh, so I'm sure that most of you must have forgotten. Once this presentation is complete, I shall send it across to Subal Prabhu so that he can share it with you all, because these are in bullet points. I've just taken some copy and paste this to work it out for all of us. So Srimad Bhagavatam is actually first canto. Let's begin with, as divided into 3 parts, A, B, and C. So what that A, B, and C is, let's see. So part A of Canto 1 talks about chapter 1 to 3, where the sages of Naimisharanya ask the 6 vital questions, which sets up the tone for the entire Srimad Bhagavatam to be spoken. But before that, before the sages of Naimisharanya, Vyasadeva himself takes the opportunity of setting up the entire situation, wherein we understand that our philosophy in Gaudiya Sampradaya belongs to Sambandha, Abhidaya, and Prayojan. Sambandha means our connection to Krishna. Abhidaya means the process to reach Krishna. And Prayojan means the end result of reaching Krishna. And that he has done beautifully in the first 3 verses. He says, the first one is Janmadhyasya Charatesho, Abhignya and Swarat. So when the word comes Abhignya, means he is fully cognizant, not that he studied somewhere or he did a meditation under some tree or he got some Babaji to come and bless him on his head and then he became God. No. Abhignya, one who understands, one who is fully cognizant of everything. That is Abhignya. And Swarat. Swarat means supremely independent. Everything else is dependent on him. So like, it starts with Janma Adhyasya Yato. Janma Adi Asya means procreation, creation, sustenance, demolition. Itaritas Charateshu Abhignya Swarat. Tene Brahma Hridayadi. He is the person जिन्होंने ब्रह्मा के हृदय में चारों वेदों को अपने बांसुरी से डाला था. तेने ब्रह्म हृदयादि कवि. Then it says Tejovari Mridam Yata Binyo Yatra Trisargam Prasad. Trisarga means Adidevik, Adibhautik, Adhyatmic, mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. And like the Traya is also Mathura, Dwarka, Vrindavan, the 3 planetary systems, what you call as Swarga, Bhu, and Narka. So all the 3s that is there in this particular creation, spiritually or materially, he is the absolute master of all. That is one of the reason Krishna is also called Trayadhisha. Trayadhisha matlab wo jo तीनों का स्वामी है. So first one, absolute truth, means the sambandha. Because we are created by him, we are his children. Second is the prayojan. Abhideya. Abhideya means the process. What is the process? It says that Kimva Pare Ishvara. It talks about what is the need of going to any other personality when Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite. It is written by Mahamuni, not some ordinary Muni. An ordinary Muni, the two philosophies will never be same. But in the Mahamuni, he is already matured by the Ashirvad of his Guru Maharaj, Sri Narad Ji. And that is the time he wrote this beautiful Srimad Bhagavatam. So that is the prayojan. Abhideya. Abhideya means जो वहां से हम कैसे भगवान को करना चाहिए. उसके लिए क्वालिटी क्या चाहिए? निर्मत सराणाम सताम. मत्सर्य नहीं होना चाहिए मन में, किसी के प्रति द्वेष नहीं होना चाहिए. निर्मत सराणाम सताम. सताम मतलब one who is a devotee is called satam. Vedyam vastavam atra vastu shivadam. Vedyam vastavam atra vastu shiva means he is the most auspicious, most pure. There is no vastu that is more pure than him. Tapatrayana moolanam. And because he is in that position, tapatrayana moolam means आदिदैविक आदिभौतिक आध्यात्मिक से जो प्रॉब्लम हमको होता है सतोगुण रजोगुण तमोगुण से तापत्रय, the tap or the pain created by that is taken away by him. And what is the prayojan? The prayojan is that Nigamakalpataror Galitam Phalam. After churning the entire Vedas, what comes out is the cream of the Vedas, that is Srimad Bhagavatam. And that is Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam. How you are drinking that? Through your ears, by listening to this Bhivan. Bhu Rasika Bhu Bharukaha. So it is the Rasikas. The Rasikas will always look for such nectarian, beautiful drink, which is Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojan. Three things done. Then comes the questions by the Naimisharanya people, where Shaunak Rishi, along with his 1,000 disciples, is sitting and doing the Yajna Tapasya because they see that Kali Yuga is coming. So they have a beautiful 6 questions. What is the highest good? So it says that Savai Pumsa Paro Dharmo Jatur Bhakti Radhoksaje Ahatukya Pratyata Yayatma Suprasiddhati. That which gives satisfaction is the highest good. So what is the essence of all scriptures? The essence of all scriptures is devotional service. Bhakti to Bhagavan Sri Krishna. So why did Krishna appear? What was the purpose of Krishna's appearance? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkratam. As per Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavatam also it says that just to reclaim the people who are in the mode of goodness, Krishna comes there. Then why he took Purusha avatar? What is the need for the Purusha avatar? So then they says that Purusha avatar is clearly for the procreation. As in the Goloka chart, once I had explained that, how the Purusha avatar comes from Krishna to Balram, Balram to Adi Sankarshan, Adi Sankarshan to Narayan, Narayan to Mula Sankarshan, from Mula Sankarshan to Mahavishnu, Mahavishnu to Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu to Shirodaksha Vishnu. So each Purusha avatar has got a setup. When the Lord decides to create the material world, the Purusha avatar comes. So why the Leela avatars are there? Again, when we use the word to reclaim the people in mode of goodness, to give devotional service, to develop love of God through bhakti, then the avatar has to come so that the prayojan can be done. So the Leela avatars come in different Leelas. Bhagavan does differently. Like see, for example, when the Lord comes as Narsimha, so that is Ghora Rupa. When the Lord comes as Varaha, the Lord comes as Varaha, it is the Ghora Rupa. So, but people say, this is so dangerous. God can be so sweet looking. But what the Lord sends a message over there. For the people who trouble my devotees, I will come in this form. I will come in the form of death. But these are all Leela avatars. And then the next question that came was that, where did the religion take the shelter? Dharma ka chhatri kidhar gaya? So it took the shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is how part A, 1 to chapter number 3 talks about these things. Then we'll go to part B now. So part B of Srimad Bhagavatam talks about the history of Bhagavatam. Who compiled it? What was the reason of compilation? The personality who inspired Vyasadeva, what was his previous life? Vyasa, after listening to Narada, what did he see? And then eventually Vyasa, through the parampara, taught it to his son, Shukdev Goswami. So the history of Bhagavatam, so Vyasa's activities. So once Vyasa was like early morning, he was sitting and so once Vyasa was taking bath, and when he came out, he was just having a vision when he was in the meditation to see that the people were in very bad condition in the days to come. So what he did, he started editing the Vedas out of compassion for the people of Kali Yuga, because Vedas that time was only Shruti, sunke pad sakte the, only Brahmanas could do that. But as the Kali Yuga came, the Brahmanas also lost the power of Shruti, of listening and understanding. Like once, this I'll just give you an idea about how the Shruti used to be taken, how a Brahmana was basically worked upon. How it was worked upon. So when people used to go for Garbhadharan Samskar, there is something called Vedic Garbhadharan Samskar, which comes parampara after parampara, father to son, father to son, father to son. And they will go by that parampara to ensure that the child comes in the topmost brilliance and all qualities. So eventually, once I asked this question to His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj, my Guru Maharaj, I said, Guru Maharaj, how would you come to know that the actual Garbhadharan Samskar has taken place? He said, well, at the age of 5, the parents will take the child to the Gurukul. The Guru will sit over there and he will recite a few set of verses in front of the child. And the child, after listening to that, has to recite the verse verbatim without missing a single word or without a mistake. If he has done that, the Garbhadharan Samskar has been proper. But if the child stutters or misses a line, the child was disqualified, that the Garbhadharan was not done, not fit to learn Vedas. So that is the level till Treta Yuga it was maintained. A few in Kali Yuga also maintained that. You can go to some Sama Vedis, they do it actually. So out of the compassion for the people of Kali Yuga, he edited the Vedas, wrote the Puranas, compiled Mahabharata. But then as we know, he was dissatisfied. So when he was dissatisfied and thinking about his Guru Maharaj came. The beauty is both are incarnations of Krishna. Vyasa is the literary incarnation and Narada is the Bhakti incarnation. So Narada came and he said, yes, you have done a great job, but you have forgotten to speak about Bhakti. He said, no, I wrote Vishnu Puran, I wrote Padma Puran, I wrote Garud Puran. He said, yeah, but where did you express it? You wrote about the personality, but personality does not come alone. It comes with his devotees. So the devotees are very, very important in the life of Krishna. Because Krishna once Narada asked, where do you reside? He says, neither I reside in the heart of the yogis, nor I reside in my Vaikuntha, but where my devotees are chanting my name, I go and be there. So the importance of describing glories of pastime, Narada's pastime, perfection by association of Bhakti Vedantas. So Narada himself gave his own life pastime proof that how he served the Vedantists, and from a Shudra's womb he had taken a birth, not even knowing who his father was. But by getting the touch of the Vedantists, who are all compassionate, Narada became a beautiful devotee. Then by Narada's mercy, Vyasa was able to see the vision of the Lord and his external energy. Daivi Isha Gunamai, Mama Maya Duratya. And after that, Vyasadeva compiled Srimad Bhagavatam and it was taught to Shukdev Goswami. So this is part B. Now let's go to part C. So part C describes about Maharaj Parikshit's birth activities and meeting with Shukdev Goswami as to how Ashwatthama was punished, how Parikshit was saved in the womb of Kunti Maharani, Bhishmadev's departure, the Lord went from Hastinapur and entered to Dwarka. Then the Parikshit Maharaj's birth and prediction. And also Parikshit Maharaj tells about Vidur enlightens Dhritarashtra so that he can leave the house. Krishna's disappearance, Yudhishthira entrance, Parikshit's rule. So these points are immediately put in part C, which we will be seeing next week actually. Today we will concentrate on part A and B. So we already went through the definition of the absolute truths, glories of the Bhagavatam, and invitation to relation. So Sambandha, Abhidaya, and Prayojan has been done, 1, 2, 3. In 4 and 5, the sages glorify Sutta Goswami. Why they glorify Sutta Goswami? Because they know that he was fortunate to listen to the Bhagavatam sitting on the bank of Ganga directly from the Mukha Arvind of Shukadev Goswami. Now, Shuka is parrot. And the parrot never touches any fruit unless it is sweet. Maybe just by the show of hand, I would like to understand how many people have eaten a fruit eaten by parrot. Yeah.
Never.
Never.
Didn't get
I
a
think, I think we are missing the fun then actually, because especially the mango, guava, these are the two fruits which the parrot loves very much. And sometimes what will happen that guava with the pink inside or a mango with orange inside, outside it will be green, so we'll think it is not ripe. But there will be a, with the beak there will be a speck and that falls down. So if you see that there is a speck, kindly eat it, clean it and eat it, and you will see that the taste is amazing. So here also, Shuka Mukad Amritam Dravyam. Why we are relishing Bhagavatam? Because after coming from the mouth of Shuka, it has become more sweet. Because Shuka will not touch anything, because Shukadeva Goswami did not speak the 17 Puranas, 108 Upanishads and 4 Vedas. He only spoke Srimad Bhagavatam, Nigama Kalpataru Galitam Phalam. So there is a reason it's called Shukadev, means one who recites. So sages were very, very happy because they were doing the yagya. And in this, there is a beautiful question. After glorifying Sutta Goswami, they tell him about that we are concerned about the people of Kali Yuga and ask their 6 questions for the benefit of the people. So what is their eagerness to hear? Their eagerness to hear is directly about Krishna's pastime. So in the sixth question, one question comes is that why Krishna came into the womb of Devaki? What was the need for God to come down? What will happen to the people of Kali Yuga? So all these things were given. And offered the seat to Sutta Goswami means how? Take it back. Offered the seat to Sutta Goswami means he was the most learned and most humble. And he was the head of the group over there. So it also teaches us that how do we take into consideration about respecting the people who are senior to us, not by age. Age also has to be given the respect, but by knowledge and experience. So in chapter number 2, it talks about Sutta Goswami's reply to those 6 questions. How it happens, what are the 3 features of absolute truth? Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti, Shabdete. But realizing the truth is only by devotion service. And Ata Pumbit Vijay Sreshta Varnashrama Vivagasha Swanustitasya Dharmasya Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. What is the purpose of Varnashram? To chant and glorify the Lord. So bhakti progress, only Krishna to be served. There very clearly it is talked about why we are rejecting the demigod worship. Because when we get into the demigod worship, our sadhana is also having a limitation. But when it comes to Vishnu, it is unlimited. And the demigod themselves worship Krishna. So Purusha-avatar, the Lord in the material world, the incarnation appeared to reclaim the pure souls. As I told you that Paritranaya Sadhuna, Vinashaya cha Dushkratam, Dharma Samsthapanarthaya, Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. And the third one clearly defines Krishna is the source of all incarnations. As I had given you the Purusha avatar itself, how it works from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu to Brahma to Shirodakshaya Vishnu. But the Lord has unlimited incarnations. In this, we talk about the 24 incarnations in about how the Lord comes in each of the avatars, in each of the yugas, whether it is Lila avatar, whether it is Guna avatar, whether it is what do you say, Swaya Rupa avatar or Prakash Avatar. So he comes in different moods, in different ways to take care of everything. But in fact, it is unlimited. This particular Brahman, we see the Lord has 24 avatar on the earth, but necessarily it may not be the same in the other planetary systems. It could be more. And what happens is, when we recite the glories of the Lord, it gives us the relief from the miseries, which is mentioned in 29. And the Virat Roop is another. So next it says that what is the Virat Roop and why the Virat Roop is given. It is for the materialistic people who does not believe in the form of the Lord. So they believe within the nature. So these are the Nirakarvadis for whom Krishna has given this concept. So that at least they will be not an atheist. Some theism will be this. But actually, as per Lord Chaitanya, that falls into Mayavad philosophy. Till the time they are in agreement that the Lord is Brahma, there is no problem. But the moment they take a stand that the Lord cannot take a form and the form is material, then they become Mayavadis. So, as we had discussed in the past, that Vedic knowledge, Srimad Bhagavatam is a literary incarnation of Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam Akhyoyam Pratyaksha Krishna Evahi. Srimad Bhagavatam is Pratyaksha, the Supreme Lord Himself. So whether it is book Bhagavatam or whether it is devotee Bhagavatam, when you pray to that, Krishna is satisfied. So what is the qualities of Shukdev Goswami? Shukdev Goswami is a Mahayogi. Tasya putra Mahayogi Samadhi Nirvikalpakaha Ekantamatir Unnidro Gudo Muda Ivayate. So he's a Mahayogi. He is equivalence monist. He is Ekantamati, whose mind is always concentrating monism because he himself was a Brahmavadi. But after listening to Srimad Bhagavatam, he became a Bhakta. And his Unnitra Guda means transcendental to mundane activities. Muda Ivayate, matlab unexposed, he appeared to be like ignorant. He just showed the people that he's not interested in the material thing. So people thought him to be. And he made no distinction between male and the female body because he used to see everyone on the platform of the soul, which was proven by a situation where he was a 16-year-old boy and he was in a Digambar, fully, naked, fully naked, okay? And when he was passing through the place where the females were taking bath, the females also didn't care. They say, this Avdut is going. But the moment when they saw Vyasa running and coming behind the sun, immediately took the cloth and closed their body. So Vyasa was a little bit shocked. He said, my dear mothers, I never look at you with this thing that where I will be agitated by looking at your bodies. So why is it that when my son passed away from here, you were not bothered, but when you passed away, when I came, you closed your body? He said, my dear Muni, we have nothing to do against you because we know you are a great personality. But since you are up in a Grahastha ashram, you identify the differentiation of the body of male and female, whereas your son is above that. So here it goes to show that he was detached completely. And because of his detachment, even when he would go to take some Diksha, he would stand, it says, go dohana. It says as, go dohana. Means go दूध निकालने के लिए कितना समय लगता है? Well, most of us have not done it, but I have seen it practically. It takes around 10 to 12 minutes when a person is expert. So that is the only time they will stand outside the door for Bhiksham Dehi. After that, there will be nothing. So now we come to chapter number 5 of Srimad Bhagavatam. As we saw that Vyasa became despondent. He was very, very sad. So then at one point of time, he was just remembering his Guru Maharaj, and Narad Muni came to see the Lord, see Vyasa, because the Vyasa was despondent. But first उन्होंने तारीफ किया. You've done a brilliant job. But then Vyasa said, my dear sir, I am still dissatisfied. So I have been very pure in my sadhana. I have taken all the care to ensure that everything has to be taken into consideration before doing this work. But still, I see that I am not happy. If I am not happy, it means there is something wrong. So the two defects which he said, insufficient glorification of the Lord was there. So one side there was less glorification, other side more emphasis was on the Purushartha of Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. So then Narada reveals to Vyasa the importance of describing Krishna. He says that there are two categories of literature, materialistic and transcendental. But devotees will only go for transcendental books. They will not go for normal literature. So that in this way, Vyasa is instructed to glorify the Lord more vividly. More vividly means with his devotees. Vishnu Puran also, if you see, there is a lot of technicalities about the Lord. So it is more of a philosophical book, whereas this one is more of a sweet book. That is a primary difference. So service to Bhaktivedanta is how he went to Bhaktivedanta, stages in his devotion, how he could see that eventually how Narada was able to see the Lord. The sound vibration is important, therefore he described the Lord's activities. So normally when Narada was meditating and seeing, trying to see the Lord appeared in his heart. And after some time, he went away. And then when Narada opened his eyes, he could only hear the Lord. So they say that there are two things that you cannot do with the Lord out of the five senses. Three senses are okay, whereas you can sense him through your meditation. You can see him in his Archa Vigraha, and you can taste the prasadam that is then offered to him. But the one thing that you cannot actually do is see him pratyaksha, which Narada wanted to see. Pratyaksha means like how the Lord stood in front of Dhruv Maharaj. It was not possible for Narada to do that. Dhruv was given that exception because he was a 5-year-old boy and he was a hearty chap, but Narada was not. So that is one thing that you cannot see. Pratyaksha Lord is difficult to see. Unless you have a spiritual body, you cannot. But still, there have been cases where Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, these Goswamis have seen the Lord through Lord Chaitanya's mercy. That is the reason we chant Lord Chaitanya's name before starting the chanting of the mantras. So let's see in the next chapter. So again, the conversation, again in the conversation, Narada's lifetime, they have given that how he spends his life, how his mother is expired by bitten by the snake, and then how he becomes a Parivrajak Acharya, how he sees the Lord and loses the form, but the Lord says, now you cannot see me again. And then there is a transformation of Narada chanting and meeting the death, and he gets a spirit. It's just like a transformation, in 1 second. And then he travels very well with his Veena. So when he say Narada, means वो जो नारायण का आराधना करता है वो होता है नारद. That's how he got the name, and the Veena is always there for him to remember the Maha Mantra of the Lord. And he says chanting the glories of the Lord is the most suitable way of going through the. So Subal, Hare Krishna. Subal Prabhu.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Do you want to take a small break for some small question answers, because I will be, it's 10:30 now.
Okay.
So 17, 18, 19, 110, 4 chapters are balanced. Because the reason is I am going to share this with you at some point of time. So whatever points are there, the people can also see aram se. No worries on that.
So do you think you will continue with the subsequent chapters, or you think we can break off now and take these chapters later?
No, I will finish up to chapter 10 because I am sure I can finish it up till, and then the next week we can have 11 to 19.
ठीक है, तो वैसा करते हैं प्रभु. So you continue, Prabhu.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
So then what happens is a little bit of Mahabharat comes in over here, because Mahabharat is compiled for Striya, Vaishya and Shudra, for less intelligent people. So Mahabharat is called Pancham Ved. Why it is called Pancham Ved? Because there is there is Vishnu Sahasranam and Bhagavad Gita as a part of Mahabharat. So it becomes a 5th Ved. So for people who are lesser intelligent, who are more interested in politics and other things, Mahabharat forms a perfect anecdote for them. So Vyasa's meditation. So Vyasa sees the Lord is external energy. He understands why the jiva is suffering and how the mitigation of the suffering can come. It is compiled by Bhagavatam. So that's the reason, again, I reiterate the word Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kimva Para Ishvara. Then Vyasa teaches Bhagavatam to his son, Shukdev Goswami. Shukdev Goswami was already a self-realized soul, but he was on the Brahma level. He was a Brahmavadi, Brahmanandi. And he was an Atmaram, self-satisfied. But when he heard the first verse of Bhagavatam, Janma Adhyasya Tanvaya Vitaritas Chariteshu Abhignaswarat, and then Nigamakalpatar or Galitam Phalam, when he heard these verses, he also desired to become a devotee. Same way are the four Kumaras who were Atmaram, Brahmanandi, but when they smelled the Tulsi leaves offered to the lotus feet of Krishna, they became the devotees. Meanwhile, then there is a small shift about Ashwathama's story. The Pandavas lament that their children was killed in their sleep with Drishtadyumna by Ashwathama. So Arjuna and Ashwathama, they have a small battle in which Ashwathama released the Brahmastra, but Arjun counters it and takes it back. But before taking it back, Arjun, when he sees the Brahmastra, he has never seen a Brahmastra being shot. He had the Brahmastra, but so the entire earth and the Brahmand was getting scorched up. So Arjuna prays to Krishna. He says, Krishna, Krishna Mahabaho. He says, my dear Krishna, Krishna, oh great arm person, could you please protect me and advise me what is to do? And then Krishna responds, he says, counteract with your Brahmastra. Then Arjuna arrests Ashwathama. And then Krishna supports the killing. Arjuna passed the test. This I will take you more in detail. Yeah. So argument for killing Ashwathama. This is interesting actually. Krishna says, you should kill because you already promised to Draupadi that I will kill. And you should punish a person because the Manu Samhita says that unless a person who murders is not given a death sentence, he will suffer in future life. So for his well-being, it should be clean. Maintenance at the cost of the others. If he's alive, then you have to take care of him. He violated the code of religious war because he went and killed the sleeping children. So he was a Brahma Brandhu. Being a Brahmana, not a full Brahmana, pure Brahmana, he killed assassin, dissatisfied his master. Even Duryodhan did not approve of his death. And obligation. So what happens? Immediately Draupadi comes in between. She says, no, dharma is not right because he is the son of the Guru. And then Nyaya says that we should not do it because Dronacharya was very clear to us. And we have to show mercy to his mother because he's the only son. And irrespective of the family, never cause grief. So Kripi should not lament like me. As a mother, I lost 5, 6 children. So I know the pain of losing a child. So let that mother, an offense to Brahmanas will burn us. So she gives her this. Others' opinion, Yudhishthir, Nakul, Sadev, Arjun, Satyaki, Krishna all agreed. But Bhima disagreed. Bhima disagreed actually. So one has to understand that there are so many things in Niti Shastra and Dharma Shastra as to what things have to be done. So eventually, Krishna says that how to kill a Brahmana is cut his shikha, and Krishna removes his money from the head. He says for a Brahmana to live without a shikha is as good as a dead. Like for a Kshatriya, after losing, you just tell him, no, you can be alive. So that is worse than death for him. So what is Kunti's, immediately after that, what happened? This Ashwathama fir bhi sudhara nahi. As soon as he was relieved, before that, after his hair was cut, he took again Brahmastra and shot it on the Garbha of Uttara. She said, there should be nobody who will be ruling the world from this Pandava community. So at that point of time, Uttara came running. Pahi pahi mahayoge, deva deva jagatpate, nanyam tvada bhayam pashe, yatra mrityu parasparam. So here, she says, Pahi pahi mahayoge, deva deva jagatpate. Oh Krishna, you are the protector. See, her father-in-law Arjun was there, who was the most capable person. Bhima was there, who was the strongest person. Yudhishthir was there. So Pancha Pandav the, uske apne sasur. But she didn't go to any one of them. Here it goes to show that no matter how powerfully you are connected to a powerful person, but in front of the Lord, they are nothing. And when the Lord is there, he is the most approachable personality. So eventually, Krishna goes into the womb, saves the child, who's Parikshit, saves the mother. So out of affection, out of affection, Kunti Maharani starts speaking the glories of the Lord. She starts speaking the glories of the Lord. And meanwhile, if you see that in the chapters later on, after Kunti's prayer, and when Krishna is departing, Yudhishthir feels very sad. Yudhishthir feels very sad that because of him, so many people died just for the piece of land. So he could not be consoled. So we will see in the next chapter how that. So we'll go to Kunti's prayers now. So in the Kunti Maharani's prayer, it is divided into 6 parts. Knowing the Lord, how fortunate she was knowing the Lord, what is the qualification to approach the Lord, what is the nature of the Lord, what were the different opinions of the Lord's birth, and she wanted more association. She wanted more association. So it says that Kunti Uvacha Namaste Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakarte Param Alakshyam Sarva Bhutanam Antarbahir Avasthitam. So it's a beautiful stuti. I would recommend that from this 18 to 43, one should chant every day, or if not every day, at least sometimes once a week. You know, it is beautiful. Like, it purifies your existence and it makes you more devotional towards the Lord. It gives you a drishtikon of a devotee. Like here, Kunti Maharani is the drishtikon is there. In the next chapter, you will see Bhishma Pitama's drishtikon. So I would suggest that everyone goes for this. Passing away of the Bhishma Pitama, a great Mahajana, the Pandavas and everyone, they came to the Kurukshetra because according to the time place, he welcomed everyone. He worshipped Krishna in full knowledge. That is the Bhishma, that is the Vishnu Sahasranam. And there are many things that he speaks in Bhishma Parva Mahabharata. There is a whole lot chapters where we can go and sit and read as to what he says. But in the end, after glorifying Krishna, he instructs Yudhishthira on how to rule the place. And then in the final moments, Krishna is there in front of Bhishma Pitama. And what Bhishma Pitama is saying, that beautiful Partha Sarthi scenario, Rathang, Partha is sitting, Sarthi is sitting, Bhishma Pitama. You have seen the ISKCON picture, that Bhishma Pitama is shooting the bow and Krishna is there on the other side and his chest is full of dust. And in the dust, there is the wound of the arrows and the blood is mixed with the dust and the Pitambar dress has become reddish Pitambar. So these are very, very, very beautiful instructions and beautiful description of the Lord. And then Bhishma Pitama shows here how to leave the body. Even though he uses the word Om, he looks at Krishna and closes his eyes and meditates on the form of the Lord. So it means Pranava Sarva Vedeshu Shabdakya Parusham Rushu. Krishna says, I am the Pranava, Omkara. I am the Omkara. Pitamasya Jagata Mata Data Pitama Vedyam Pavitram Omkara Riksham Yajurevacha. So Vedyam Pavitram Omkara. So that Omkar, when he was chanting, he was not meditating on something Nirvishesh or something Nirakar. He was meditating with the Om on the transcendental beauty of the Lord. And that to which one? Where the Lord is sitting as a Partha Sarthi. So Bhishmadev attains Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Then the sages glorified Krishna and returned. So this is how passing away Bhishma Pitama. And so what is the position of Krishna as per Bhishma Pitama? He says, Sakshat Bhagavan, Esha Vai Bhagavan Sakshat, Adyo Narayano Puman, Mohayan Mayayan Lokam, Udascharati Vrishnishu. So in that one particular verse, he just gives the position of the Krishna. He's Sakshat Bhagavan, he's Adyo Narayana, first Narayana. He's a supreme enjoyer. Moya Maya Lokam means bewilders everyone by his Maya, by inconceivable moving in Vrishni family. So many people, they think that Krishna was a great person, great politician, powerful person. Siddha Purush, Maya Purush, but nobody accepted him as Adi Purush. But here he says he is Adyo Narayana Puman. He is the supreme enjoyer. He is the Adyo Narayana. And what is this? Why? What makes him the supreme? Because of his faultless qualities. Sarva Atmana, present in everyone's heart. Samadarshi, equal to everyone. So it says, Samoham Sarva Bhuteshu, Namedveshu Asti na Priya. That's what he says. Krishna also says. Then Advasya means absolute. There is no second truth. Absolute. Matta parattaram na anyat kinchid asti dhananjaya. Ahankara krite, free from material false ego. Tat kritam, everything was done by him as always. Then Krishna, he says to Mother Kunti and Panchapandavas, my time has come. I have to go. You have been already installed as the emperor of the earth. I have, means, ऐसा बताया गया है कि almost for 2 years, the Lord was away from the. He used to go and come, not that he was completely away, but he was going and come. So what is the so when Krishna gets ready to depart, they're very, very, very sad. The Pancha Pandavas are sad. They sing some more Vedic hymns. The people of Hastinapur are on the road. The ladies of the Hastinapur are on the terrace, and they are just seeing that how things are looking at. So then the talks of Hastinapur ladies, that's a beautiful talk, that 20 to 30 verses, no? Pleasing talks with attractive then Vedic hymns, Krishna, the original personality. Devotional service is the best for experiencing the Lord's form. The Lord descends in material world. Paritrana sadhana vinashada dushkritam. Yadu dynasty, Mathura, Dwarka, Queen Gopis are all glorious. The Lord smiled and accepted their greeting, and Yudhishthira arranges for the defense protection, followed by Krishna. So this is the exit from Dwarka. So here we complete at 10:46. So I was a little bit fast, but then I thought that Bhagavatam is such a thing that if you take one verse or one word of that one verse, you can spend 1 hour. So we won't be doing justice to what we actually wanted to achieve. So I leave this 10 minutes for an open forum discussion about what you all felt about this presentation. I will share it with you so that it is for you to go and see piece by piece. All glories to this wonderful Bhagavatam Subodhini group and Gaurang Darshan Prabhu and Gauranga Prabhu from Vada, who have given us this beautiful Subodhini. I have a soft copy of the Subodhini also. I can share it with you all, Prabhu and Mataji. So, yeah.
Excellent, Prabhu. Many thanks. It was a good overview. Yeah, as you rightly said, a little bit fast, but anyway, time always is against us.
No, Prabhu, Bhagavatam kaisa hai ki, you know very well, it took you 108 episodes to finish. So the temptation was there for me to go into certain areas like, I will just show you which were the areas.
Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Yes, Uday Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Sorry for coming in late. I had a doctor's appointment. I just was listening to the last few things where you mentioned that the Lord actually went and came back many times. Is it as a part of this one, or did how is that? Because I don't remember.
He has something to do in the Dwarka because he has a kingdom to rule, right?
Yeah.
So there are times when he would take his Sarthi, and he would come from Hastinapur to Dwarka, finish that course and go back. So when you read Mahabharata, in that you are getting the idea. More than Mahabharata, if you read Harivamsha Puran, the Harivamsha Puran is a commentary on Mahabharata. And in the Harivamsha Puran, they beautifully show that, though 2.5 years he was in the Hastinapur, looking after the political issues and trying to work out on the issues. At the same time, he was going back to Dwarka and finishing his requirements in the kingdom. Though Ugrasen was there, but his presence was required. So I will share some of the excerpts where he has visited Dwarka. And the beauty is what? Staying in Dwarka, he has also visited Vrindavan many times. Though the Bhagavatam does not speak about it except for one word that he went to Madhu. He went to Madhu Dvisha. He went to that place. So there are many a times where he has gone, but he would just go finish. He would not go and meet his family. If you read the Krishna entrance into Dwarka, the wife and children have seen him straight after 2 years. So he would go to his office, that is his Raj Sabha, and come back. That's how it is. But the wives were also very tolerant. Wives were also very tolerant. They realized that he was required. Yeah, Prabhu.
There is
Prabhu,
anything told about his kids?
His kids, Krishna's kids, Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Yeah, from each wife, he had 10 sons and 1 daughter. Bhagavatam says that. When you read the 10th canto, from each wife, 16,108 wives, he had 10 sons and 1 daughter.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
And the details of those names and everything is there in Harivamsha Puran. That is the reason Vyasa had to write an Upa Puran called Harivamsha Puran, where it talks only about Harivamsha. 120 chapters, 10 cantos, and some amazing descriptions, because I have 2 or 3 copies and I sit and read in my free time, and it just takes you to the next world actually. But that has to be read with Mahabharata for us to understand, because those activities are after the war of Kurukshetra only, Prabhu, not before that.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Prabhu, this after chapter 3,
Yeah.
you have come to the qualities of Sukdeva Goswami.
Yeah.
So chapter 4 is only concentrating on Sukdev Goswami's qualities?
Yeah. That is the reason I just took it that way.
Achha.
Because there are lots of questions about how the father goes and cries, the son is not listening, Shukdev and Vyasa's, this is there. So I thought that let me be more precise and give you the actual nectar of that particular chapter.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
And can you just come back to chapter 6? Because from 28 to 33, I have noted
34 and
Yeah.
36
34 and 36 is Narad concludes.
concludes and departs. Prabhu, this will be shared with all of you, no worries. Once we finish the full overview, I'll be sharing with Subal Prabhu, and Subal Prabhu will share it with you all. So based on these points, no, see, every one of you have a different taste and different things to look into. So this has made it very precise, so that we can just use that actually.
No, this is very informative, bro.
And I will share that soft copy also at some point of time for the book, but that can be done after the second canto is done. So we'll start the second canto after the Gita appearance day. Any others or any doubts?
Anybody has any question?
No problem.
Okay.
Prabhu, Sutta Goswami, Saunaka Maharshi, both are same, right, Prabhuji?
Sutta Goswami is the son of Romaharshana.
Yeah.
And Shaunak Rishi is a personality who is having 1,000 disciples, staying in Naimisharanya and doing the yajna for the people of Kali Yuga, so that the people in general become enlightened. So Sutta Goswami is the knower of Vedas. Shaunak and Shaunak Rishi wants them to be imparted to his disciples, and through the disciples to the rest of the people like us. So that is how it goes in all the Puranas, Vedas. Everywhere you will find these 2 personalities.
Okay, so Saunak Maharshi was heading the yajna, the 1,000-year sacrifice, which they are doing in the Naimisharanya.
Absolutely.
So in that premises, they have requested Sutta Goswami to tell about Bhagavatam.
So all the Puranas will have the starting like that only. Any Puran you go, 18 Puranas, if you go, Mahabharata, if you go, it is mentioned like that, that Sutta Goswami was invited. Because, but there is a beautiful question in this, in chapter 1, where it says that you have gone through so many literatures, and people in general in Kali Yuga are very, very... Prabhu, can you put 1110? Subal Prabhu.
Yeah, one moment, Prabhu.
I'll just stop sharing the screen. So this is the concern of the Shaunak Rishi Prabhu. Prayana alpa ayushya sabya kala vasmin yuge jana manda sumanda matyo manda bhagya upadrita. Can anyone read the translation?
Sure, Prabhuji.
Oh.
Translation.
Yeah,
Oh
just a
Lord, in this iron age of Kali, men almost always have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed.
Okay. So, Prabhu, can you just come to a page where all the shlokas are shown, Prabhu, in line? Just go to the chapter 1. Yeah. Yeah, keep going down. Yeah, that's okay. Just a minute, Prabhu. Yeah. See the 11th one itself. There are many varieties of scripture, and in all of them, there are many prescribed duties, which can be learned only after many years of study in their various divisions. So, when I was, once I met His Holiness Bhakti Vidyapurna Swami Maharaj, our Gurukul sannyasi, I asked him, I said, Maharaj, how long does it take to study one Veda? He says, one Veda takes 12 years to complete. So 4 Vedas means 48 years. Then after that, you have 18 Puranas, 108 Upanishads. So you do not know where you go. So that is the reason he says, oh, say, therefore, select the essence of these scriptures and explain what is good, because by such instruction their hearts may. Because he said that you give us a summary and what is the best out of it. And you see, then, sometimes we say in the court, leading the person. One lawyer will try to lead the person by putting his words in their mouth. He says, what is the purpose of personality of Godhead? So they know that out of the Vedas क्या सुनना है उनको, तो वो भी बता दिया कि personality of Godhead क्यों आया, किसके लिए आया. And then that is the reason they say, if you see the 18th one, it says, O Sutta, please narrate the transcendental pastimes of the Lord's Godhead's multi-incarnation. Keep going down, Prabhu. Yeah, that's it. So in all these areas, they have set up their mind that they need to concentrate on Krishna only. So this is how Shaunak Rishi and Sutta Goswami, they spoke to each other. This is how he was given the position. So if you go to the next chapter, Prabhu. So immediately what Sutta Goswami did, he put the obeisances to his spiritual master Shukdev Goswami. Yeah. And then he offered it to his Shuka, the spiritual master of all sages, son of Vyasa. Before reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, Narayanam Namaskritya. Then it says, see the text 5. I have been justly questioned by you. Your question is worthy because they relate to Lord Krishna and are of relevance to world's welfare. Only question of this sort are capable of satisfying the self. That is the reason devotees are called Atmaramas. So you see, these things, when you go piece by piece to the presentation what we have made, it will precisely take you to that point where you want to have clearance of your doubt. Is that okay, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, this question actually is not from the presentation just now, but I just remembered one. Can I just ask? It's related to Bhagavatam only.
Yeah, please.
Prabhu, actually, when we see Lord comes in different forms, a particular, there's a reason and he takes a form for that reason, right? So,
yeah.
Krishna coming in a swan form, what is the
Hamsa
Hamsa avatar? What is the importance of the swan or the Hamsa, Prabhu?
What we'll have to do is we'll have to see Hamsa avatar falls in which category, whether it is Leela avatar or whether it is Shaktavesh avatar. So based on that, we'll come to know. I will check and I will put it on the forum.
Okay, Prabhu.
I have done some research on Hamsa avatar. So why that avatar comes and everything is there. Just a minute.
Prabhu, I believe you had some other engagement as well, right?
Yeah, so I will just go for that because there is a government
yeah.
puja going on somewhere. I have to go and do the Abhishek of the Lord.
Prabhu, we
So
can take this question later. Whenever you're free, you can reply on the forum.
yeah, I'll reply on the forum and send it to you, Subal, so that you can just put it that way.
Okay, sure.
Because that avatar is there, and I had done this actually a year back, but then I seem to be losing my memory power of late.
No worries. We can take this later.
Yeah, any other questions? Anybody?
Doesn't look like.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thanks a lot for giving us this wonderful discourse.
Next week I will be available to conclude this series, Prabhu, because
Perfect,
my series
perfect.
has been shifted to next day. So I thought, if you all are okay with that, I'll finish it up, Prabhu.
Yes, yes.
Let
Prabhu.
me allow. Please allow me to do it. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
So much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
everybody.
Prabhuji.
Thank you. Lakshmi, thank you for joining. I know you were busy.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhu. Thank you
Hare
so much.
Krishna.
Thank you everyone for joining. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Namaha
Krishna.
Pranam.
I'll end the session, Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhu, please.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.